Hello commanders, how are you doing today? I hope you are doing pretty good. Guys, today we are here for one more video in the channel. We are going to talk basically about the two types of gears we can find in the aircraft. And I separated first this one, which is my favorite type. Maybe it's because I have done all my private pilot license flying. It's one pretty similar to this kid right here. So we're gonna start talking about this one first. I think it's gonna be a very short video again, then I cannot take so much from your time, and we also can learn a little bit of aviation and the new vocabulary. If you enjoy the videos here in the channel, I kindly ask you to subscribe, leave your thumbs up, and if you have any suggestion, complaints, leave your comment below. We are here in this beautiful city, Florianópolis again. Florianópolis, Brazil. It's Sierra Bravo Fox Lima for the ones who want to look for it on the flight simulator. This first type of gear we have right here now in front of us is going to be our conventional gear. And we have the main gear here in the front, and we have it's called the tail wheel at the back. The CG is a little bit in the back of the aircraft. It's very interesting aircraft, and I have a lot of good things to say about this aircraft. I have a personal feelings for him because I have done my private license, basically in the entire private license on this one, and the commercial pilot I also flew this one. So I have a few hours I can talk good things about this aircraft. Although on the ground this aircraft doesn't behave so nicely. It's really hard to control this aircraft when it's rolling for takeoff, and I'm gonna show it to you the thing we have to do when we are flying it and when we are taking off. I'm not gonna talk about the landing today. I intend to make a video just to talk about this aircraft, how we take off and how we land, because there are a lot of special things to do, and that's why it makes the pilot skill really nice to keep going with our training later on. We learn things in this aircraft that we can carry for the entire life and we'll never forget. As we can see, the way this aircraft is designed, there is one big disadvantage, that we cannot have a clear view from the runway when we are taxiing and before we take off as well. As we can see here, it's exactly this view we will have when we are taxiing and when we are in the runway. And once we start or rolling for takeoff, it changes the pitch, and we have to do it with the stick, the control, this stick here. When we fly alone this aircraft, we have to fly on the back seat. I have done my solo flight on this one, and actually I did it in the front seat. I don't know why, but the instructor told me to go in the front seat and I would be okay. Maybe because I'm not so heavy, I don't know. And once we roll here for takeoff, we're gonna see how it behaves. We can have a look here. During the takeoff, when we start rolling, you have to push the stick forward, fully forward, and keep the aircraft like this. And we have a very strong work with the pedals to keep the center of the runway, and we need to get speed first and then we can go for taking off to rotate. And once we take off, it's pretty much similar with the other aircrafts. There is no much secret. The only thing we really need to take care of is when we are on the ground, when we are taxiing, rolling for the takeoff, and when we land. There are few things we need to have in mind. I'm gonna make another video talking about the two different kinds of landing we can make with this aircraft, which is pretty nice to train. The touch and go landing trainment is really good to do with this aircraft. I used to do sometimes 2-3 hours doing only takeoffs and landing with this one. It's really good. It improves a lot our skills. Another thing very interesting we cannot see in this aircraft, the panel is really simple, and it's exactly like this. We don't have anything else, just the primary instruments like the tachometer, the airspeed indicator, the magnetic compacts here in the middle, and we have the altimeter, pressure, oil pressure, and that's it, nothing much. The throttle is right here. I guess this one is the tank selector, fuel control switch. We have the trim right here, very nice. Neutral position, the stick. And if you want to check the fuel quantity, is this one here. It's outside of the aircraft, on the top of the tank, on the top of the engine, and as this stick here goes down, it means that you're consuming your fuel. When it reaches here the end, it's time for landing. No more fun. Yeah, I know the video is supposed to be to talk about only the landing gear, but when we talk about this kind of landing gear, and for the ones who flew this aircraft before, you know that there are a lot of interesting things to talk, so we cannot talk only about this landing gear and leave this aircraft. That's why I'm taking a little bit longer here today. Anyway, let's have a look at another type of landing gear we can find. And here we have our another beautiful kit again, the Cessna 172. I also flew this aircraft during my commercial pilot training. It's pretty nice to fly as well. You cannot improve the skills for landing and crosswind corrections the same as the previous one, the Piper, but Cessna is really nice to fly as well. And talking about the landing gear, we have here the TRICYCLE landing gear. How do you say TRICYCLE or TRICYCLE? Anyway, TRICYCLE landing gear. It's fixed landing gear, you cannot retract. And as you can see here, the difference of the view is uncomparable. You cannot compare with another one. This one for taxiing, you can even taxi and talk to the co-pilot at the same time. The another aircraft, you really need to be focused all the time. You cannot miss any moment. I think essentially this gear is much better for this view, as you can see when we are inside the aircraft. I think also for landing it makes our work much easier. You have the nice view, and we have basically one kind of landing that you touch the main gear, you just hold a little bit, the controls back, and you touch down. The aircraft makes most of the time all the work for you. My instructors used to say that the aircraft land by itself, we are the ones who screw it up. So if you leave the aircraft doing all the job, you just take care of the controls, don't make any mistake, and everything is gonna be nice. And when we try to create something different, we try to make up a different kind of landing, and it's when some mistake can happen. If we compare the takeoff with the another one, we can see that this one there is no secret, there is nothing else you can do. You just need to take care of our speed and rotate in the right moment, and that's it. The work with the pedals at this moment is much less. You don't have much to do. The aircraft is sweeter. engine failure at this time. Oh my god. No time to go back. Full flaps. Nose down. And you can pray. The another one I'm bringing for you here today is going to be our Baron Beechcraft. It's a really nice aircraft. This I have never flown in the real life. I would like to. And this is a really interesting gear because it's going to be retractable. The maintenance of course is going to be much more expensive, but there is a very good advantage on it. Once we take off, we retract our landing gear and we reduce a lot of drag. We can check the airspeed of the aircraft. The moment we retract the landing gear, the airspeed increases a lot. Just try it out here. I don't have joystick here, so I do everything we use in the keyboard, mouse pad. I use the autopilot. Let's go. Can put 1000 per minute, HDG, altitude, and roll it. We can see our speed now here on the left side. 125 knots approximately. I'm gonna put the gear up right now. So gear up, and you can not see that the speed increase really quickly. It's beautiful view. It's a very nice city to fly over, especially in the summer. If you have the chance, visit Florianopolis. Let's climb to 3000. You can put a very high rate of climb in this aircraft. 2 engines, very strong. Okay, let's say we are here on the final today. The air traffic control already gave us the clearance for landing, and we are doing our landing checklist, which includes the gear down, and we try to put our gear down and suddenly it doesn't go down. So at this moment we're gonna have what we call the gear collapsed, and we need to inform the ATC immediately that we have our gear collapsed, and we probably have to make an emergency landing and require all the assistance on ground immediately. Let's see if we can land like this and check out what happens. Yeah, apparently I made it up and I managed to deploy my gear even after touching the ground. Very weird. Guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.